I have simple needs. I'm not asking for a spaceship to go to the grocery store. I just want a nice camera to bring with me to wherever I go. A friend to come with me on adventures. Just to have some nice specs in there. I'm not asking a lot. I got a question the other day. What are you looking for in a perfect camera? Oh, I'll tell you. It's not much. It's a lot, actually.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
The problem with the search for the perfect camera is I ask for certain specs, and then companies oblige me, but it takes them 3 years to make it. And then when we come into that future, I've already moved on to something bigger and better. So it's tough to keep up with my demands. I understand it's hard, but hire more workers, or at least rats. Some type of rat-human hybrid or an ant. Ants could bring you the chips to the thing. Save time in your own way, asshole. I have specs and demands. Originally, I wanted one camera to do everything, be my studio cam, and then also vlogging, and now I've added wildlife into the mix. It's kind of too much to ask. I don't love vlogging with full frame cameras anyway. Like, you do not need to blur the background. The only thing I like about full frame outside is the dynamic range niceness. That's really all I need, high dynamic range. So I have very good dynamic range on my Blackmagic OG, and it's a less than 1-inch sensor. So like, come on now, give me raw in something. First, let's talk about the vlogging camera of my dreams, and then the studio cam, and could that also do wildlife? Probably. My ideal camera is the Sony X4000. Nothing's changed. An action cam with a 1-inch sensor. Something modest, low megapixel. Did you see my notes? Low megapixel 16:9 sensor designed for video. We're doing optical stave in that thing. A 16mm Tony 1.8 lens. That's not a ton of background blur. That's an okay. 22 if you have to make it smaller. I'm with you. Optical stave though, that's the key. So we're stable optically and we're not cropping into my new fancy 1-inch sensor. It stays big. And an optional 10% crop that's super amazing electronic stave that works out any of the kinks. Not that there should be any kinks in my optical perfect stave. Boss stave by Sony with Fuji colors, Canon colors. The main thing I'm looking for, because the DJI Action 4 is plenty good, the GoPro 11 plenty good, but like if we're talking perfect, I'd like to actually be in focus for once. All these action cams are designed for infinity focus, so give me at least a manual focus thing and a decent enough screen that I can actually tell with good peaking, and a monochrome mode that makes everything black and white, and then it's just the red peaking and I can, oh yeah, I'm in focus. So like either a manual focus or an autofocus system. Something, give me something, because I'm so sick of seeing just blur and then sharp. I would like a nice raw codec, 12-bit raw in there. Why aren't we? If the Blackmagic OG could do it, why can't you? Your little action cam? Come on, man. Good log, good dynamic range, nice color science. I don't know who you should go with. Canon is decent, or Fuji, or Blackmagic. Someone work something out. Just less reds in the face, please. Just a normal, nice, healthy glow is all I ask. Just don't exaggerate my zits. And we're talking camcorder style body. This shape, elongated. So I'm pinch gripping my way through life. And my arm is extended out of the shot. Instead of this thing where like you're pinching on top or underneath and you got a long arm. So we got your camcorder body, 3.5mm mic jack with good preamps that I can adjust, or have an auto mode that auto levels my lav mic with perfect compression that I never have to touch anything. Nothing ever clips, but it's very loud. I don't have to adjust anything. Perfection. Or built-in shotgun mic at the bottom with a little foam screen, wind muff, right in there. And then I don't even have to be attached to a lav mic. And imagine that. A real nice shotgun, Sennheiser shotgun. Boom. And then I'm clipping. We got a tripod screw on there. Then I put my little backpack clip. Boom. All in one solution. It could be so simple. I've asked for this many years ago. And I do want 4K 240p and HD 480 frames per second. Those can be in 10-second bursts. I don't need more than that. Wow, I have 10 seconds of that? Cool. Thank you. That's all we need. Like, the Action 4 is close to that, but it doesn't tick all the boxes. It's a small sensor, smaller than 1 inch, and it super crops to get that stabe. So, like, where's the optical stabe? It's in the camcorder body, isn't it? Yeah. So that would be a very simple action cam. I wouldn't mind it if it was a phone too. I got another question. iPhone boy, where are you? Curious to hear your opinion on the iPhone 15 Pro. Are we getting to a point? They are a legit option instead of entry-level APS-C camera. Pro cameras are so expensive. It's good. It looks great. Like, my only complaint of most phones is that it's plastic skin, over-sharpened, oversaturated, and Apple has finally fixed that. It's log, it looks as good as most cameras do, and it's more stable. It's like, holy shit, they're pretty close, aren't they? Except 4K 30p max. What the hell is that? And then 1080p 60p if you want log in ProRes. Hello? I'm needing slow motion, super slow. So it's like we're waiting for a Huawei P70 Pro maybe, with like a nicer look, with less Huawei-like color science. Or I think Xiaomi has the Zeiss lens? Don't quote me on that, but somebody has a Zeiss lens. I'd like to be on that team. I know Sony has the Zeiss lens. Also, Vivo? Is that it? That doesn't seem right. Who would ever use a Vivo? I'll Vivo your mom. But I would be very happy if just a phone came out with a very natural look in super slow-mo, just like my Huawei P40 Pro without the freak face that's over-sharpened and strange red, and no HDR bullshit where it's like you get into the shadows and then your face glows red, and it's just like, what happened to that? Like, just give me natural, normal looks. A camera with a couple different lenses on there could be so fun. And the slow-mo though, you need the bursts and the motion trigger, all that. My Huawei P40 Pro is basically perfect, except the colors scare me, and it's only 30p. iPhone, you can do 24p, it's so close to perfection. But like, you go to HD 240 and you lose the log and now you're over sharpened. It's not the same. So either my super camcorder action cam, or a nice phone, or we're talking Panasonic goes back to their roots and makes a G9 II with a tiny little body, like a G85 body type of thing. Your Micro Four Thirds, get back to what it used to be. It's tiny and light, and then you're laughing as you vlog. And that 9mm lens is so light. So like, you have that, but also you're autofocusing in 300 frames per second. Come on now. Come on, in a tinier body. I know it may seem impossible because the GH6 has a giant fan and it can't do it. But your tiny G85 body has courage that the GH6 lacks. It's tinier. It's like a tiny dog yelling at a big one. It's like, I could kill you. I could kill you. Oh no, I can't actually. He's biting my neck. Help me, mom. Type of thing. So like, give me something. Also, the next Panasonic camera needs to have less saturated reds. I am sick of that look on my face. Nothing ever looks right. Even Sony color science is better. I'm just throwing that out there. Not for nature shots. Beautiful greens and pinks, and wow. But like, the face, skin tones are still not quite there on Panasonic, in my opinion. At least my face. If I film other people's faces, maybe they look fine. I'm the problem. I have like 6 diseases. So Panasonic G86 with 4K 120p, HD 300, autofocus in all modes. I'm pretty happy. For now. Until I get bored of those specs. So hurry up. I could also be happy with a Canon C100 Mark III that is full frame. XLR mics right in there. Nice dual pixel autofocus. RAW, 12-bit. Canon color science. I'd be happy with you, somewhat, for this. But like, what could you do outside with it? If you have a nice viewfinder and some stabe somehow, wildlife, maybe. I doubt it. Really, I think we're just waiting for a Sony a7S IV with better color science, and then all the modes and fun stuff of your lower end products, and just upping the specs, 4K 240p, HD 480, and we're happy. For now. I'll never be happy, inside or out, but still, I could be appeased for a month. And need I even mention that the action cam should have a filter thread built in? I shouldn't need this black freak on the end that's not even, it vignettes hard. So like, come on, obviously I'm putting a glimmer glass. We're on a glimmer glass 3 right now. Huh? That's bloomy back there. It's fun. It is fun. So like an action cam without that? No thank you. Imagine it. Raw 12-bit in an action cam with a glimmer glass? You're vlogging your way to the movie theater. Wow. What will you see? Oppenheimer? Wow. And the Sony a7S IV better have better low ISO performance. In fact, I got a comment the other day that said something to the effect that if you were to just film at 640 ISO and raise it in post, it would look better than the 10,000 ISO. So this is what I have done. Next to me is 10,000 ISO Loser Boy, and here's me just happy as could be. 10,000 ISO has very like elongated banding and terrible noise. Like it looks so bad. Whereas like a G9 Mark II has noise, but it looks nice. At 12,800, it was sharper than the Sony, and the noise looked nicer. Sony just like takes it all away at some point. The noise, and then everything's soft. It's not a dual native ISO, but do you see it? The 10,000 ISO, all this like shadow noise, and its banding is running. It's like a river. And then it cleans up at 12,800, but then everything gets soft. It doesn't look like it used to look, even though I turned all the lights off. That's fun. Here's 12,800 ISO. Next to me is the 640 ISO from earlier in the video. It's definitely softer. Some things get weird. The colors are different. Everything's different. It's not like, oh, it's just as good as the native. It's not. So work on that. I'm gonna leave. It looks okay. I love it. Or do I? We're back at 640 ISO. Huh? It got better, didn't it? I'll leave. You buying a Camera Conspiracies t-shirt? Subscribing for more videos?